we saw the Minister of Environment surrounded by forest guards.
I believe it's a question of power.
Thousands of years ago, Europe was covered in primeval forest like this. Now Białowieża and the rare species that call it home are nearly all that's left. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the forest blankets the border between Poland and Belarus. But on the Polish side, the forest has become a battleground. The country's nationalist government has brought heavy-duty harvesters into Białowieża. They claim it's to tackle a bark beetle infestation, but environmentalists backed by the EU say it's a smokescreen for commercial logging. As the atmosphere on the ground heats up, will this unique forest survive the fight for its future? It's little more than a week after the European Court of Justice ordered Poland to stop logging. An act of defiance like this by a European member state is unprecedented.
I have to say that personally I didn't expect them to withdraw. I thought maybe that they will try to hide with their activity for maybe 1 week, but it didn't happen. So they just a few days after the decisions, they were already working exactly the same way.
Activists have been trying to block the harvesters for months.
Our aim is to protect the Białowieża forest, and let's say our tool is using non-violent direct action.
They thought the court order would stop the logging, but it makes allowances for public safety.
Wszystko jasne.
Nie, no właśnie, czyli zwiększony etat pozyskiwania to jest to, co się dzieje w Białowieży, czyli...
Szlak publiczny?
Nie bezpieczeństwa.
A nie od tego, żeby było prawo przestrzegane, nawet unijne?
To nie jest w naszej kompetencji, panowie.
Czy pan się
Czy
nie
my
boi
mamy uprawnienia
odpowiedzialności?
ministerialne? My mamy uprawnienia ministerialne? Nie.
The man with the power is Environment Minister Jan Szyszko. It was his decision to triple the amount of logging back in 2016. Despite being in the forest at the same time as the BBC, he refused all requests for an interview and sent instead a statement reaffirming the need to continue logging for public safety. But back in Warsaw, we found someone from the ruling party willing to explain the government's position.
When we found out about the state of the forest, we had to react quickly. This is the only way. It's like with your tooth. You have to save your body. Sometimes you have to pull it off. This is what we're trying to do. We have to save as much as we can.
The fact is there is a beetle infestation in Białowieża. Dead spruce trees are everywhere. It's just that most scientists don't believe that's necessarily a problem.
Bark beetle outbreaks occurs every 10, 15 years. Okay, so these spruce trees were killed by bark beetles. We as scientists, we don't see any danger to the forest, any threat to the forest. We are in the managed part of the Białowieża forest. Now we are in a natural forest. Larger part of the forest was never planted by humans. In this forest, there are also spruce trees dying. The large amount of the dead wood is very important in natural forest because there is a lot of diversity, biological diversity linked to the dead wood. You can see some fungi here, but there is a lot of insects, for example. They use the bark beetle outbreak as a reason for logging, which is not true.
But trust in the foresters is strong in conservative rural communities like these.
Wszystkie są ulubione. Ten i ten na przykład. Człowiek kiedyś poszedł do lasu, to widział tętniące życie tego lasu, zieleń piękną, odmiany zieleni, różne kolorystycznie. A teraz tylko widzi rude, albo czarne, czy brązowe. Ja mówię, ja bym własnoręcznie niektórych ekologów pobił, żebym się nie bał, że mnie za to posadzą, żeby ich stąd tylko wypędzić. Niech jadą do Łukaszenki, niech jadą do Pucina, tam puszczę chronić. Tam tak nie ma. U Pucina na pewno by tak nie podskakiwali.
Despite increasing tension, there is a small local resistance movement.
It's not very popular to say that you are for the protection of the forest. So people hide it. Here now it's a political question and not the question of real arguments for or against the logging.
I'm really frustrated that I'm a witness of something which is irreversible. If you convert a natural forest into a regular managed forest, you make this forest being exactly the same like other forests in Europe.
And that's the real tragedy here, that somewhere amidst the politics, a unique forest is being destroyed, and its value remains the one thing all sides can agree on.
No one really is just cutting in to put it to the fireplace, you know, we're trying to save our heritage, and we're not going to stop.
It's about the forest. The forest must win.